I am an introvert through and through. What about you? How do you recharge your batteries? You love to go to parties, you love to be around a ton of people all the time, or to recharge your batteries by doing things solo, spending time alone, making sure that you've got that time carved out for you. Not a right or wrong answer to that question, but I will tell you this. Even for me, introvert, on the deepest level, the power of collaboration is really what it's all about. If you want to grow a big business, one that reaches many as opposed to few. I'm Deborah Atkinson. You're listening to Fitness Marketing Mastery, where I share top tips and secrets for marketing and for selling your fitness services and products so that you can build a business and a life that you love, especially in 2021 and beyond. And if this is helpful, stay with me all month, April 2021, where I'm doing a daily short tip to get you started, get your wheels spinning, give you optimism and inspiration for ideas, yes, but more importantly, the actions so that you can carry them through. About 6 years ago, I started writing my third book. I got the idea, and that was actually the first collaboration on this little project because it was not my idea. I have David Newman to thank for that. He's of Do It Marketing. I got this idea to ask an expert to contribute a short piece to the end of each of the chapters in my book. The book I'm talking about here is You Still Got It, Girl, the After 50 Fitness Formula for Women. And I had my chapters written and I wanted to include these experts because their expertise was, of course, deeper than mine. So, for sleep, for instance, I asked the sleep doctor, Dr. Michael Breus, to contribute. But during our interview, he said, "You'd be perfect for a health summit group that I belong to." So he introduced me. I attended. And at the same conference, I applied to join the mastermind, and I've been a member ever since. That's 5 years in a row. I belonged to several masterminds, and at one time, I belonged to one, two, or three. And I have run masterminds and began one again in 2021 because trainers and health coaches are struggling so very much. Although the arm of my business to customer, consumer brand is growing so very much. The service that I provide to personal trainers, to fitness businesses, and to health coaches is so needed right now, especially for those that just don't resonate with those big, pushier, salesier prototypes that are out there. And there isn't a lot there to help small business owners among women who've actually done it themselves. So, what you have to know is right now, if you're struggling to find your voice, build a brand, and stand out in this noisy world, you're not alone because everyone is trying to do it. More fitness professionals, yoga instructors, personal trainers than ever are online, also vying for the same eyes that are there. I have, over the last year, increased revenues by 37%. And in the last quarter of this year, by 54% over that. And none of that happens alone. Now, you know where I was last year. You don't know the specific numbers, right? But let me say this, that I was okay. I was very comfortable 8 years ago when I quit my job to have a bigger reach. I mean, I was in a position where I was either going to stay settled, stuck, doing what I was doing, and that was kind of going to be my, I'm just here. This is where I am. I live in this house that I love. I, live in this community I've lived in for 25 years, 30 almost. And I was just going to stay there, continuing at the same job, same organization, and I could not do it. I couldn't. I felt like I was kind of against a wall, not able to go any further with the team that I was working with. And I felt, in fairness, they needed different leadership in order to go further. And I needed probably a different growth opportunity as well. So I did it. And that was definitely on purpose. In December of that same year, I made 12 times, or December of last year, I made 12 times my average monthly paycheck from 2013 when I was employed by somebody else. 12 times. Well worth it, I would say. But you can't do that kind of thing alone. My goals for 2021 are bigger, and it's largely going to be due to partnerships, helping others grow their reach and ability to change lives, and asking them in turn to help me. One of the hardest things that I've had to learn is to ask for help. Be willing not just to give, but to ask for help. Asking, what do you see that I might be missing? Or telling someone you're struggling is very hard. I've been there. I was at a low place one year in particular. It was time actually to renew my mastermind or give notice that I wasn't renewing. And I knew by then, however, the power of a group, but I was still financially struggling, and I was building a business from literally ground zero. I mean, I started completely over at 49. And we in my family had just suffered a huge tragedy. My niece's husband had been killed by a drunk and high driver while riding his bike. He left behind 3 boys, ages 3, 6, and 9, and his high school sweetheart, my niece. It was very fresh, very raw, and I was between a rock and a hard place. I couldn't take financial or emotional hardship, and I didn't know which way to go. Do I recommit and feel a little uncomfortable from the money I was going to spend, or did I pull back and feel very uncomfortable from how am I going to do this myself? In the end, I already told you that I've been a member for 5 years, so you know that I renewed. And it was the smartest thing that I've done. That doesn't mean it was comfortable. That doesn't mean I still didn't wrestle with that decision. I could see myself standing on the deck in my mountain home in Boulder on the telephone with my mentor of the mastermind, trying to decide what's the best thing for me to do here. And it doesn't mean that that night after the phone call, I went to sleep knowing what I needed to do. I still wrestled with it. And I say this because it's not an easy decision, no matter what you do. But I guarantee you that someone reached out to me the other day as I shared on social media that basically in 2013 to 14, I had a midlife crisis, started over, a lot of things fell apart. And yet, I have to look at all those things I thought were devastating in the moment and thank goodness for them because they've been blessings. I would not be here. Someone reached out and said, what was the turning point? What got you there? And I had to say, having no net got me there. Having no choice but to make it work. And I really believe that. So I was married for 10 years in a relationship with him for probably 13 maybe. And I didn't have to be successful. I think I had the same opportunity to be, but I didn't have to do it. I had a net. And so I didn't take the chances. I didn't put everything into it that I needed to. So I'm just challenging you to think about if you really don't need to do it, if you're really very comfortable, there's a good chance that you won't do it because you've right now got the full-time job, because you've got maybe a partner who's really taking care of things. Those things are very comfortable, and I get it. I get that safety and security that they provide. But sometimes that safety and security prevents you from creating what could be even better than what you have now. Just thoughts. Let them sit. So here's what happens when you have the right group. Business growth brings inevitable personal growth. The right mastermind, for instance, ends up being made up of what becomes your closest friends, people who understand exactly what you're going through. I've had personal interventions from my mastermind mentors and friends, and I've given some myself. While doing something for someone else probably comes much easier to you, I encourage you to ask someone for help today. I mean it, today. Where do you need help? What area do you need help in? Where aren't you making progress that you need help? Ask. It will be a huge step in growth. There you have it. That's it. Today, it's all about the power of collaboration and how one and one means so much more than two. What are you waiting for? The world needs you today more than ever.